Hello, my name is Seth. I'm working as a producer under the name Velvet Ear. I make videos to help independent artists, and today I'm going to be talking about things that will help you work with a producer. I'm doing a video on this because there are some people I know who have never worked with a producer before, and they are not sure what are things that help the process, what are things that make the process harder, what's something that's going to make the process of me bringing my song to a producer just overall better. So today I'm going to be talking about 4 things that will help you work with a producer. The first and most important one is communication. Pretty much everything I'm going to talk about on this list is going to derive in some way from communication. The best results are going to come when you have an artist and a producer who come together and they have a cohesive relationship. Ask questions if you have questions. If there's something you don't understand, ask your producer. This is also a two-way street. Your producer needs to be communicating with you about what he expects you to do, what things does he need help with, what process does he use for producing artists. On some level, whether or not you have a good interaction with a producer is going to depend almost entirely on how well did the two of you communicate. The second thing should be establishing expectations. It's really important for you to establish at the beginning when you are available to work and when you're not available to work. Producers have hours. They are like any other business. And you probably have days where you are just straight up not available to work, whether you're in college or you have a job. There's some days where you are not going to be available. These might not seem super important, but what can tend to happen is if these are not expressed or if they're not communicated, there will be resentment that builds up on either one side or both sides. One person will send an email and another person won't respond for 2 days because they have this thing going on. And then person A is like, what the heck? Why aren't you responding to this email? When this entire thing can be avoided if this person would just say, send me an email at this time. I'm in school, so I probably won't be able to respond. It's really important that you both establish boundaries for when you are free to communicate and when you're not. This really helps your producer because it just helps them know, okay, I'm going to send this email. I'll get back to them at this point because they've said already they're not going to be able to talk on Fridays. So it just makes the whole process easier. Along with that rolls into number 3, which is be patient. This kind of flows in from the other one, but if you are writing your revision notes and getting them in on time, it's still important to understand that a producer, by nature of what they do, has to work with multiple artists. They're normally having multiple clients in at once. So if you give them a revision note at 3 p.m. and it's one small note, it might be easy to think, okay, well, I'm going to get this next revision at the end of the day. And like I said with the previous point, if there's no preset expectations, it can be kind of frustrating. You can say, I just want this one thing changed. Why does it take you a day to get me this one thing? As a producer, I can say from experience that in order for us to stay afloat, we need to have multiple clients at once. It's not uncommon for me to be working with 12 clients at once. So while the revision you're leaving may not be a big one, it might take a bit to get to them. Again, this is going to be specific to what your producer has told you. What I like to do with my artists is whenever they send me some email with some revision notes, I will say at the end of the email, okay, I will try to get to it by this time, and just be very upfront about the fact of like, okay, this is when I plan on getting to your revision notes. At the very least, they know when I'm going to get to them. As a producer, I can say that those clients who are willing to be patient with me and extend grace when I get things a little behind, they are a dream to work with, and I love working with those artists. And I know I said the first one is the biggest one, but this is also kind of the biggest one because they kind of combine together, is number 4, reply to emails. When your producer sends you an email, please reply. Even if it's an email where it doesn't seem like you need to say anything, just send an email saying that you got it so that we know that you got it. A lot of people don't realize this, but as a full-time producer, like half of my job is emailing people. And I say this understanding that sometimes people forget to respond to emails. You know, I do that all the time. I have a system where if someone doesn't respond to an email that I send them another one in like a day or so to make sure that they get it. But if you want to have a good relationship with your producer, probably one of the best things you can do is just respond to the emails they send you, because it can really make a project drag on for a long time when it takes somebody like a week to reply to an email. A thing to keep in mind is something that was said in the Nerd City video on graphic designers is that art, even for pay, is still art. your producer is invested in your art just by the fact that they are working on it. There is a bit of emotional attachment to the song, even though it's not ours and, we didn't write it. There's still a bit of an attachment to it. And when we're attached to a song and we really love it and we want to keep it going, that momentum just kind of dies when it takes somebody a week to reply to an email. So if you're good at replying to emails that your producer sends to you, your song will probably turn out better just because they'll stay stoked on it for longer. If you really want to be your producer's best friend, just respond to their emails whenever they send you one. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like down below so that I can see what kind of videos you guys find the most helpful. If you have a specific question about music production or music business or working with a producer, please leave it in the comments down below. I would love to do a video on it. I post one of these videos every Tuesday, so if you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Have a great day. Now go make something cool.